What's going on? This is My Life in the Shot. I'm your host, Donald Washington. Now, you're going to see another police shooting. However, in this case, I think the cop was justified. I'm going to call it like it is. I ain't going to sit up here and just take one side all the time. If it's justified, I'm going to say, hey, shit was justified. If it's unjustified, I'm going to call it like it is. It's unjustified. You know, man. However, in this case, I think the guy was mentally ill, and we got to address mental illness. And the police should also address that too. How do you approach a mental ill situation? And because that's what they deal with a lot, you know, man. And a lot often those mental illness cases, the family calls because somebody's off their medication. They flip out on the family. The police are called. I did a few shows a few months ago about, you know, they call it a mental illness, you know, mental patient. They run in and shoot him right away. In this case, man, they're gonna tase him a few times, run away from him. One of the cops was willing to get beat up. And this is what I'm saying, that, and normally you see how people get shot within seconds. This wasn't the case in this particular issue. I'm gonna bring y'all to the story. Check it out.
For you?
What's his problem?
No, that's what you say? What you say? Say it again. Say it again. What is it?
Now see, you see the guy running at the cop. Now normally in our community, we see us getting shot right away. Bing, 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 bing. Flat. Not 2 minutes, not 3 minutes, not running away from. This cop actually ran away from him.
There's information on social media that's just untrue. We're hearing things like Mr. Pierre was shot 7 times. Completely untrue, fabricated. We're hearing that Mr.
You see, he tased him first. We rarely see that. I didn't even know police had tasers in our community.
Pierre expired at the scene. That's not true. He was given CPR. Our firefighters transported him to Broward Health Medical Center, and he died hours later at the Broward Medical Center.
What is wrong with you? Stand down!
See, tasing him and he's running backwards. He's trying to preserve a life. Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's the compassion that we do need from these police officers, man. So many times, man. I can't count. I can sit here all day and name 30 names where the police officers right away, boom, instantly. Then 2 seconds. Rarely do you see us last over 20 seconds.
Stand down!
Rarely would you see mace or a taser being used in our community.
It's important for everyone to understand that
And you know what, man? Hats off to these officers, man. They did what they had to do. They tried to preserve a life, man.
Investigation does not determine whether a shooting was justified or unjustified. Deputy Sean Youngward was attacked by Mr. Pierre. He was punched, he was kicked, and he was knocked to the ground. Deputy Youngward, at different times, exhibited his taser. When the taser did not work, he used an expandable baton. He did everything he could to save himself and to end this confrontation. Deputy Briggs exited his vehicle, and he gave several clear, concise, lawful, and legal orders to Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre chose a path of non-compliance. There came a point in time where Mr. Pierre relinquished his hold on Deputy Youngwood's leg and charged at Deputy Briggs.
And see, and you know what? At that point, when the cop had his gun drawn and dude let the other cop go and was almost towards that other cop gun, he would have had no other choice but to shoot, because had dude grabbed that cop's gun, it was over for both of them.
Deputy Briggs had his firearm. He shot 3 times. Mr. Pierre was mortally wounded, still alive, and taken to the hospital. the investigation that will be done completely by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
The thing I can't understand is they kept asking, what's wrong with you, buddy? He's obviously mentally ill. Come on, man. Do y'all not get training when y'all fucking go to the police department?
Turned over to the state attorney's office. A grand jury will convene, and the grand jury will decide whether an officer is indicted or a deputy is indicted or not. To the family of Jean Pedro Pierre, I cannot imagine what you're going through. I am praying that God sustains you through this most difficult of times.
All right, anyway, here's the story, man. A citizen video for Lauderdale Lakes. I guess this is in Florida. Friday afternoon. This was yesterday morning. Sheriff, I was taking usual steps, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm recording. All right, so these are the deputies. Sean Youngward, 48. Steven Briggs, 49. And they had Jean Pedro Pierre. He was only 42 years old. That's young. Wednesday at Sunset Hills Condominium of Lauderdale Lakes. Hey, you know what, man? Somebody actually caught this on their cell phone. I seen this on social media before.
Where do you look next to find the best?
Before I even seen this, the actual story of it. So a cell phone video recorded it. That's what I'm about to show you guys here. This is the cell phone video. They still put advertisement on dude's cell phone. So this is the
Hey, turn him loose. Turn him loose, dog.
Lauderdale Lakes man was fatally shot after he fought with a Broward Sheriff's deputy. Cell phone video shows Deputy Sean Youngward on the ground while holding an extended baton, shouting at Jean Pedro Pierre, who was holding the deputy's foot. Voices recorded on the footage advised Pierre.
Let go his leg, man. There's more.
And y'all hear it, man. Yeah, I seen this video at first on Facebook, and then they was like, man, the people in the cell phones like, man, bro, let him go.
Coming, bro.
Hey, big smart, man. Let him go.
Turn his leg loose, dog.
Let him go, bro. Let him go.
Let him go, bro.
Let him go, bro.
Let him go, bro.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
They're gonna shoot you, man. They're gonna shoot you, bro.
Bro, let him go.
Another deputy arrives. Pierre kicks Youngward several times before running, and 3 shots are heard. The sheriff's office said the incident began when Youngward responded to a disturbance at the complex, and that Pierre struck, punched, and kicked the deputy. Youngward used the taser and his baton, but those weapons did not stop the assault, according to the sheriff's office. Pierre died at Broward Health Medical Center on Wednesday night. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is investigating the shooting.
Yeah, so that was the other angle of the killing, man. Man, it's definitely a tragic event, man. Only 42 years old. You're dead, man. You know, family, gotta grieve his loss. Man, we got so many police shootings, man. And so many people comment from other countries, and they're like, damn, man, how many police killings y'all had? Other countries, man, like Canada, they don't have no police killings. They don't have any regular killings, man. They got like 10 killings a year in the whole country. And those are people who come from America who go to Canada that end up killing some damn body in Canada. And they don't have 0 police shootings, man. What's going on in this country to where we got so many? There was a story, there was a video I seen out of Scotland. And dude had a big ass knife. He tried to stab the officers, man. They ran around for hours, not hours, but for a long ass time before they grabbed dudes. Man, they don't think about killing man at all in other countries, Scotland and some of them other countries, man. But anyway, I'm gonna bring y'all this. You know, man, I ain't gonna always just take one side all the time, man. If it's, I'm gonna call a spade, or whatever the term is. Not that I like that damn term. The term sounds kind of weird. But this is what I'm gonna call it like I see it. I'm not gonna call it like it is. When it's justified, it's justified. If it's not justified, we call this shit unjustified. Both. Rarely, very rarely do I see the cops actually justify it. This is a rare issue. But it is what it is, right? Anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, let me know what you think about this video.